Rose grew up knowing one kind of love, the quiet, sacrificial kind. It lived in a small rented house at the edge of town, in the soft squeak of wheelchair wheels across the floor, in the gentle voice of an aging woman who called her name like a prayer. Her mother, Jane, was all she had. Age had weakened Jane's body. Her legs no longer worked. Her hands trembled when she tried to hold a cup. Most days she needed help with everything, and Rose helped with everything. Every morning before work, she bathed her mother. She tied her headscarf neatly. She fed her slowly, spoon by spoon. "Easy, Mama. I'm here," Rose would whisper. Jane would smile, tired, proud, grateful. But beneath that smile lived a quiet fear. What will happen to my daughter when I am gone? Jackson came into Rose's life like sunlight through curtains. He was warm, ambitious, certain about the future. With him, Rose laughed louder, dreamed bigger, breathed easier. Love felt possible. One evening, sitting on his apartment balcony with city lights glowing behind them, Jackson said gently, "Move in with me." Rose's heart leapt. A new life, a better home, a real chance. But that night, reality waited in the dim light of her mother's room. Jane listened quietly as Rose spoke about Jackson. Then she said something that broke her daughter's heart. "Don't tell him about me." Rose blinked. "Mama, why?" "I am old. I am a burden. I don't want him to see me and think your life comes with too much weight." Tears filled Rose's eyes. "But you're my mother." Jane forced a soft smile. "Promise me." And after a long, painful silence, Rose nodded. Rose moved into Jackson's modern apartment. Clean walls, bright lights, new furniture. A different life. She told him she had no close family. But twice a week, she traveled across town with groceries, back to the small house, back to Jane. She would cook quickly, clean quietly, help her mother bathe, then rush away before questions followed. Each goodbye was heavier. Jane never complained. But after Rose left, the house became painfully silent. A ticking clock, an empty doorway, a wheelchair facing the road, waiting. Jackson noticed the pattern. The sudden trips, the tired eyes, the forced smiles. One afternoon, he followed her. She didn't see him. He watched her enter an old house and close the door softly behind her. Curious and uneasy, he stepped closer. Through the window, he saw Rose kneeling beside a wheelchair, feeding an elderly woman, wiping her tears, holding her hands like something precious. "Mama, I'm sorry," Rose whispered. Jackson froze. She had a mother, and she had hidden her, not out of shame, but fear. Later that evening, Rose stepped out to buy food. Minutes passed. When she returned, the door was open. "Mama?" Silence. Her heart began to race. The kitchen was empty, the bedroom untouched, the wheelchair gone. Fear swallowed her whole. She ran all the way to Jackson's apartment. Rose burst through the door, breathless, and stopped. There, in the warm living room light, sat Jane, clean, comfortable, safe. Jackson stood beside her. Rose dropped everything and rushed forward, hugging her mother tightly. "I thought I lost you," she cried. Then she looked at Jackson, terrified. "I can explain." He shook his head gently. "Why didn't you trust me?" Rose's voice broke. "I was afraid you'd leave if you knew." Jackson knelt in front of her. "Rose, the way you love your mother is the reason I love you." He glanced at Jane. "No one who cares like that is a burden." He stood and spoke with quiet certainty. "She stays with us. This is her home now." Jane covered her mouth, tears slipping through trembling fingers. Rose began to cry again, not from fear this time, but relief. That night felt different. Not bigger, not richer, but warmer. 3 hearts under one roof. No more secrets, no more shame, no more lonely goodbyes. Rose learned something she would never forget. Real love doesn't ask you to hide your roots. It helps you carry them. And for the first time in a long time, Jane slept without loneliness. One day the house was quiet. Too quiet. In the kitchen, tired voices slowly turned into sharp words. "I'm trying, Rose, but I'm exhausted," Jackson said. "She's my mother," Rose replied, her voice shaking. "I can't lose her." They didn't notice the hallway light or the soft shadow near the door. Jane sat in her wheelchair, listening, tears falling silently. Love filled the house, but so did pain. And by morning, everything would change.